Stop everything you're doing right now and pay attention, because what I'm about to share with you in the next 100 minutes has the power to completely alter the trajectory of your entire life. Not just tomorrow, not just next month, but the next 100 years of your existence on this planet. I know that sounds dramatic. I know it sounds like hyperbole, but here's the truth. Most people will live their entire lives never experiencing a moment of true clarity. Never having someone sit them down and tell them exactly what they need to hear. Never receiving the knowledge that could have changed everything. They stumble through decades making the same mistakes, repeating the same patterns, wondering why life feels so hard, why success seems so elusive, why fulfillment remains just out of reach. They waste years, sometimes entire lifetimes, because nobody ever gave them the map, the blueprint, the fundamental truths that separate those who thrive from those who merely survive. But right now, in these next 100 minutes, you have an opportunity that most people never get. You have access to concentrated wisdom, battle-tested principles, and life-changing insights that took others decades of pain, failure, and struggle to discover. You can compress years of learning into minutes of understanding. You can avoid the pitfalls that destroy most people's potential. You can accelerate your growth in ways that will seem almost unfair to everyone around you who's still figuring things out the hard way. But here's the catch, and this is critical. These 100 minutes will only change your life if you approach them with absolute focus, complete openness, and genuine commitment to implementing what you learn. If you're half listening while scrolling through your phone, if you're skeptical and resistant to new ideas, if you're planning to consume this information and then do nothing with it, then these will just be 100 more wasted minutes in a life full of wasted time. But if you're ready, if you're truly ready to receive what could be the most important information you ever encounter, then let's begin. The first thing you need to understand, the foundation upon which everything else is built, is this. You are not living the life you're capable of living, and the gap between where you are and where you could be is entirely the result of the decisions you've made and continue to make every single day. Right now, at this exact moment, your life is the sum total of every choice you've ever made. Every thought you've entertained, every action you've taken, every habit you've formed, every person you've spent time with, every piece of content you've consumed, every belief you've accepted as true. All of it has led you to this precise point. And here's what most people never realize. If you keep making the same choices you've been making, you'll keep getting the same results you've been getting. This seems obvious when stated plainly, yet 99% of people live as if it's not true. They complain about their circumstances while continuing to make the exact same choices that created those circumstances. They want different results, but refuse to make different decisions. They're hoping for a miracle while repeating the same patterns. This is insanity, and it's the primary reason most people never change. So the very first shift that must happen in these 100 minutes is this. You must take complete, total, absolute ownership of where you are right now. No more blaming your parents, your education, your boss, your circumstances, the economy, your genetics, your past, or anything else external to you. All of that might have influenced you, but it doesn't control you. You are where you are because of you, and you will go where you're going because of you. This isn't meant to make you feel guilty or ashamed. It's meant to empower you. Because if you're the problem, you're also the solution. If your choices got you here, different choices can get you somewhere else. The moment you stop being a victim of your life and start being the creator of your life, everything changes. Now let's talk about time, because you need to understand something fundamental about how time actually works versus how you've been treating it. You think you have time. You think you can start tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. You think you can waste today because there will always be another day coming. This is the most dangerous illusion you've ever believed. Time is the only resource you can never get back. You can lose money and make it again. You can lose relationships and build new ones. You can lose health and regain it. But time, once spent, is gone forever. Every minute that passes is a minute you'll never have again. Every day you waste is a day you can't reclaim. Every year you spend not becoming who you're capable of becoming is a year lost forever. The average human life is roughly 75 years, which sounds like a lot until you break it down. That's about 27,000 days, 650,000 hours, 39 million minutes. Sounds like a lot, right? But consider this. You'll sleep for about 25 years of your life. You'll work for about 13 years. You'll spend about 6 years eating, 4 years on your phone, 3 years on social media, 2 years getting ready, 1 year in the bathroom. By the time you subtract all the time that's already allocated, you have maybe 10 to 15 years of truly discretionary time to actually build the life you want. And if you're already 20, 30, or 40 years old, a significant portion of that time is already gone. This isn't meant to depress you, it's meant to wake you up. The time to start is not tomorrow, it's right now, this moment. These 100 minutes could be the inflection point where everything changes, but only if you treat them with the urgency they deserve. Let's move to the next critical truth. Your identity is not fixed, it's fluid, and whoever you think you are right now is just a story you've been telling yourself. You've created a self-image based on past experiences, and then you live in ways that confirm that self-image. If you believe you're not a morning person, you'll hit snooze and prove yourself right. If you believe you're bad with money, you'll make poor financial decisions and prove yourself right. If you believe you're not creative, you'll avoid creative pursuits and prove yourself right. Your identity becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But here's the revolutionary insight. You can change your identity at any moment simply by deciding to and then taking actions that align with your new identity. You don't need to wait for some external validation or permission. You don't need to gradually evolve over years. You can have a complete identity shift right now. Instead of saying, I'm trying to become a writer, you say, I am a writer. And then you write every day. Instead of saying, I want to be healthy, you say, I am a healthy person. And then you make choices that healthy people make. Instead of saying, I wish I was disciplined, you say, I am disciplined. And then you do hard things consistently. Your actions reinforce your new identity, and your new identity drives different actions, creating an upward spiral. Most people wait to feel different before they act different. Great achievers act different until they become different. They understand that you don't have to feel confident to act confident. You act confident and then you become confident. You don't have to feel motivated to take action. You take action and then motivation follows. Identity change happens through behavior change, not the other way around. So right now, in this moment, decide who you're going to be. Not who you've been, not who others think you are, but who you choose to be from this moment forward. Write it down, declare it, commit to it, and then spend every day taking actions that prove your new identity is real. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Fear. Fear is the primary reason people don't change, don't grow, don't pursue their dreams, don't live up to their potential. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown, fear of discomfort, fear of looking stupid, fear of losing what you have. These fears are running your life, making your decisions, keeping you small, and you don't even realize it because you've rationalized them into seemingly logical reasons. Now's not the right time is fear. I need more preparation is fear. What if it doesn't work is fear. I don't know how is fear. I'm not ready is fear. All of these are fear dressed up in reasonable sounding excuses. Here's what you need to understand about fear. It's not your enemy, it's your compass. Fear points you toward what matters most. The things you're most afraid of are usually the things you need to do most. The conversations you're avoiding are the ones you need to have. The risks you're not taking are the ones that will change your life. The dreams you're too scared to pursue are the ones that will fulfill you most deeply. Every great achievement in your life will require you to move through fear, not wait for it to disappear. Fear doesn't go away. You just get better at acting despite it. So instead of letting fear stop you, use it as information. When you feel afraid, get curious. What is this fear protecting me from? What would I do if I wasn't afraid? What's the worst that could actually happen, and could I handle it? Almost always, you'll realize that the worst case scenario is nowhere near as bad as the fear makes it seem. And even if it happened, you'd survive it and probably learn something valuable. The regret of not trying is infinitely worse than the temporary discomfort of fear. Let's talk about habits, because your habits are the operating system of your life. And if you want different results, you need different habits. Everything you have and everything you are is the result of your habits. Your health is the result of your eating and exercise habits. Your wealth is the result of your spending and earning habits. Your relationships are the result of your communication and connection habits. Your knowledge is the result of your learning habits. Your productivity is the result of your work habits. Most people dramatically underestimate the power of small habits repeated consistently over time. They're looking for the big breakthrough, the revolutionary change, the dramatic transformation, but the truth is that extraordinary results come from ordinary actions done consistently. If you improve by just 1% every day, you'll be 37 times better in a year. That's not linear growth, that's exponential growth, and it comes from tiny, almost imperceptible improvements that compound over time. The problem is that small habits don't seem to matter in the moment. Eating one unhealthy meal won't make you obese. Skipping one workout won't make you out of shape. Wasting one day won't ruin your life. But it's the accumulation of these small choices over months and years that creates your destiny. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. The person who exercises once is voting to be an athlete. The person who writes one page is voting to be a writer. The person who reaches out to one connection is voting to be a networker. You don't need a majority of votes to start, you just need to begin casting them. So here's what you do. Identify one keystone habit, a habit that, if established, will create a positive domino effect in other areas of your life. For most people, this is a morning routine. How you start your day sets the tone for everything that follows. If you wake up late, rushed, reactive, scrolling through your phone, you've already lost. But if you wake up early with intention and invest the first hour in yourself through exercise, meditation, reading, or planning, you've won the day before it even begins. Commit to one keystone habit and protect it like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Do it every single day for 100 days without exception, and it will become automatic. Once it's automatic, add another habit. Slowly, systematically, you rebuild your entire life one habit at a time. Let's shift to focus and attention, because in the modern world, your ability to focus is your superpower, and most people have completely lost it. You're living in the most distracted era in human history. Your phone buzzes constantly. Notifications demand your attention. Social media algorithms are designed to hijack your focus. Entertainment is available instantly. News is breaking every second. Your brain is being pulled in 1,000 directions simultaneously, and this fragmentation is destroying your ability to do deep, meaningful work. The average person checks their phone 150 times a day, spends over 4 hours on their phone, and can focus for maybe 8 seconds before getting distracted. This is less than a goldfish. You're literally less focused than a goldfish, and you wonder why you're not achieving your goals. Deep work, the ability to focus without distraction on cognitively demanding tasks, is becoming rare and therefore increasingly valuable. While everyone else is skimming, scrolling, and multitasking their way to mediocrity, you can create extraordinary value by simply being able to concentrate. But you have to protect your attention like it's your most valuable asset. Because it is. Your attention is where your energy flows, and where your energy flows, results grow. If your attention is scattered across meaningless content, gossip, drama, and distractions, your energy is scattered and you create nothing of value. If your attention is focused on your goals, your growth, your creation, your contribution, your energy is concentrated and you create extraordinary results. So take back your attention. Delete social media apps from your phone or severely limit their use. Turn off all non-essential notifications. Create blocks of time for deep work where you're completely unreachable. Remove the temptation to distract yourself by designing your environment for focus. Put your phone in another room. Use website blockers. Work in a space with minimal distractions. Train your brain to focus for longer periods by gradually increasing your deep work sessions. Start with 25 minutes, then 45, then 90, then 2 hours. Your focus is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. And as your focus increases, your productivity, creativity, and results will multiply. Now let's talk about learning, because your ability to learn faster than the rate of change in your industry is the only sustainable competitive advantage you have. The world is changing exponentially. Technology is advancing rapidly. Jobs are being automated. Skills that were valuable 5 years ago are obsolete today. If you're not continuously learning, you're falling behind. But here's the problem. Most people stopped learning the day they left school. They think education is something that happens in a classroom, ends with a degree, and then you just apply what you learned for the rest of your life. This outdated model guarantees irrelevance in the modern world. You must become a lifelong learner, obsessed with growth, constantly acquiring new knowledge and skills. Read books every single day. Listen to educational podcasts and audiobooks during commute time. Take online courses from the best minds in your field. Attend conferences and seminars. Find mentors who are 10 steps ahead of you. Study the strategies of people who have achieved what you want to achieve. But here's the key. Don't just consume information, implement it. Knowledge without application is worthless. Every time you learn something new, immediately ask yourself, how can I apply this? What's one action I can take today based on this knowledge? Then do it. This transforms passive learning into active growth. Most people are addicted to consuming content but allergic to implementing it. They read book after book, take course after course, and wonder why nothing changes. It's because they never bridge the gap between knowing and doing. You must become someone who learns and applies, who studies and implements, who absorbs and executes. This is how you compress decades of learning into years of results. Let's discuss money. Because your relationship with money is probably broken, and until you fix it, you'll struggle financially no matter how much you earn. Most people have a scarcity mindset around money. They believe money is hard to get, hard to keep, and there's never enough. They stress about bills, feel guilty about spending, and believe that wanting money makes them greedy or shallow. This psychological baggage around money keeps them broke. Here's the truth about money. Money is simply a tool, a medium of exchange, a representation of value. It's not good or evil. It's neutral. The love of money might be the root of evil, but money itself is just energy. And like any form of energy, it flows toward those who respect it, understand it, and use it wisely. If you want more money, you need to provide more value. It's that simple. Money follows value. The more value you create for others, the more money flows to you. So instead of asking, how can I make more money? Ask, how can I provide more value? Instead of trying to get, focus on giving. Find problems that people will pay to have solved, and solve them better than anyone else. Develop skills that are rare and valuable. Build expertise that makes you irreplaceable. Create products or services that genuinely improve people's lives. When you focus on massive value creation, money becomes a natural byproduct. But you also need to understand the mechanics of wealth building. Wealthy people understand that you don't get rich from earned income alone. You get rich from owning assets that appreciate and generate passive income. Real estate, businesses, stocks, intellectual property, these are vehicles skills that build wealth. You must shift from trading time for money to building systems that make money without your direct involvement. This requires learning about investing, understanding compound interest, being patient enough to let your money grow over decades, and having the discipline to live below your means and invest the difference. Most people earn and spend. Wealthy people earn, invest, and let their investments compound. A relatively small amount invested consistently over 30 or 40 years becomes enormous due to compound interest. But most people never start because they're waiting to have extra money, not realizing that you create extra money by making it a priority, by paying yourself first, by automating investments before you have a chance to spend. Your financial future is determined by the decisions you make today, and every day you delay is costing you exponentially due to lost compound growth. Let's move to relationships, because the quality of your life is largely determined by the quality of your relationships, and most people are terrible at building and maintaining them. You need to understand that you're not meant to do this alone. Humans are social creatures. We're wired for connection, collaboration, and community. The lone wolf mentality might sound tough and independent, but it's actually a recipe for limitation and loneliness. Every great achievement in history involved collaboration. Every successful person has a network of supporters, mentors, partners, and collaborators. Your network is your net worth, not just financially, but in every dimension of life. The people you surround yourself with will either elevate you or diminish you. They'll either challenge you to grow or enable you to stay comfortable. They'll either inspire possibility or reinforce limitation. Jim Rohn said, "You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." And this is profoundly true. Their attitudes become your attitudes. Their habits become your habits. Their beliefs become your beliefs. Their income level becomes your income level. So look around at your current circle. Are these people where you want to be? Are they growing or stagnant? Are they positive or negative? Are they adding value to your life or draining your energy? If your current relationships aren't serving your growth, you need to make changes. This doesn't mean you abandon everyone, but it does mean you become more intentional about who gets your time and energy. Seek out people who are ahead of you, who have achieved what you want to achieve, who operate at a higher level. Find mentors who can guide you. Join mastermind groups with ambitious peers. Attend events where successful people gather. Read books and consume content from the greatest minds in history. Surround yourself with excellence, even if it's virtual through books and media, and watch how it raises your standards. But here's the other side. Don't just take from relationships, give. Be valuable to others. Contribute. Help people without expecting anything in return. Build genuine connections based on mutual respect and shared values, not transactions. The most powerful networks are built on generosity, trust, and authenticity. When you genuinely care about helping others succeed, when you add value freely, when you build real relationships rather than collecting contacts, you create a network that will support you for life. Now let's talk about health, because without your health, nothing else matters. Yet most people treat their body like a rental car they plan to return damaged. You get one body for your entire life. One. There are no replacements, no upgrades, no do-overs. The body you have right now is the same body you'll have when you're 70, 80, 90 years old, except it will be either much better or much worse depending on how you treat it today. Every meal you eat is either fighting disease or feeding it. Every workout you do or skip is either building strength or allowing atrophy. Every hour of sleep you get or lose is either regenerating your cells or aging you prematurely. Your health is not something that suddenly collapses one day. It's the result of thousands of small decisions made consistently over years. The 50-year-old who has a heart attack didn't get unhealthy overnight. They got unhealthy through decades of poor choices that accumulated into disease. The 70-year-old who's vibrant and energetic didn't get lucky with good genes. They invested in their health consistently for decades. Here's what you need to do. Move your body every single day. You don't need to be an Olympic athlete. You just need to be active. Walk, run, lift weights, do yoga, play sports, whatever you enjoy, just move. Your body was designed for movement, and modern sedentary life is killing you. Eat real food, not processed garbage, not fast food, not sugar-laden products designed in laboratories to be addictive. Eat vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, healthy fats, whole grains. It's not complicated. If it grew from the ground or had a mother, you can probably eat it. If it comes in a box with 47 ingredients you can't pronounce, avoid it. Sleep 7 to 9 hours every night. Sleep is when your body repairs, your brain consolidates memories, your immune system strengthens. Chronic sleep deprivation is linked to obesity, heart disease, diabetes, cognitive decline, and early death. Stop wearing sleep deprivation like a badge of honor and start prioritizing it like the biological necessity it is. Manage your stress. Chronic stress is toxic. It releases cortisol that damages your body over time. Find healthy ways to manage stress. Meditation, exercise, time in nature, hobbies, therapy, whatever works for you, and eliminate toxic relationships and situations that create unnecessary stress. Your body will thank you with energy, clarity, longevity, and vitality, or it will punish you with disease, fatigue, pain, and premature death. The choice is yours, and you're making it with every decision. Let's discuss purpose, because a life without purpose is a life without direction, and you can't hit a target you can't see. Most people are wandering through life without any clear sense of why they're here, what they're meant to do, what unique contribution they're supposed to make. They go to work to pay bills, to survive, to go to work to pay bills, in an endless cycle that feels empty and meaningless. Then they wonder why they feel unfulfilled, why success feels hollow, why achievement doesn't bring the satisfaction they expected. It's because they're climbing a ladder that's leaning against the wrong wall. They're achieving goals that don't align with their deeper values and purpose. Here's what you need to do. Get crystal clear on your why. Why do you exist? What makes you come alive? What problems do you feel compelled to solve? What would you do even if you weren't paid? What do you want people to say about you at your funeral? These aren't easy questions, and you might not have immediate answers, but you need to sit with them, reflect on them, journal about them until clarity emerges. Your purpose is found at the intersection of what you're good at, what you love doing, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. This is the Japanese concept of ikigai, and when you find it, everything clicks into place. Work doesn't feel like work. Challenges become meaningful. Obstacles become opportunities. You wake up with energy and enthusiasm because you're doing something that matters. But here's the thing, you don't find your purpose by thinking about it endlessly. You find it by trying things, experimenting, paying attention to what energizes you versus what drains you, and gradually moving toward what feels right. Your purpose might evolve over time, and that's okay. What matters is that you're intentional about pursuing meaning rather than just chasing money, status, or society's definition of success. When you align your daily actions with your deeper purpose, you tap into a level of motivation and fulfillment that external rewards can never provide. Let's talk about resilience and mental toughness, because life will knock you down, and your ability to get back up determines everything. Everybody faces adversity, setbacks, failures, rejections, losses, and pain. The difference between people who succeed and people who quit isn't that successful people face fewer obstacles. Often they face more because they're attempting bigger things. The difference is in how they respond to adversity. Most people let failure define them. They try something, it doesn't work, and they conclude, I'm not good enough, or it's not meant to be, and they quit.